Hello students, in this video I am going to discuss title significance, summary and theme of chapter 4 from Flamingo for class 12. First of all, about the author, chapter entitled The Rat Trap. About the author is Selma Lagerlöf, that is, you can say Selma Lagerlöf. She is a Swedish writer, and her about her it is given in your book as well. So she was a Swedish writer whose stories have been translated into many languages. Okay, she has written in English, but her stories have been translated in many languages. A universal theme runs through all of them, and in all the stories you can't say that she used the theme which is only for a region, which is only for a particular area, or which is only for a particular country. Her themes are applicable for all over the world, for every section of the society, especially for the deprived section of society. And in her themes, she believes that the essential goodness in human being can be awakened through understanding and love. It means in her writings, in her creations, you can find that she always tries to prove that if you treat someone by love and kindness, with a loving behavior, even a weak person, even a person who is doing petty offenses like theft, robbery and something like that, means even a person is criminal, it means that the evil persons can also be converted into a good one, can be changed into a good one. Their life can be changed by loving behavior. That is the main theme on which she writes. She used to write in her career all the time. Selma Lagerlöf. She is writing about in this story actually. Okay, the rat trap. It is a Swedish story. Sweden is very rich in iron ore, that is, iron mines are there too much, and this story somehow belongs to that iron ore or iron mines. Okay, iron ore is, you can say that the business of raw iron is that kind. Ore is raw iron actually. And even in legendary stories of Sweden, you can find these stories of mines and iron ore. Okay, so I am going to discuss few important points about this chapter. The theme of this story actually, the story upholds the belief that essential goodness of a human being means every person in the society is good and bad both. No one is good or bad at the time of birth. Okay, as per social treatment or as per our situation, somehow at some occasions the person gets changed into good one or bad one, whatever it is. But Selma Lagerlöf focuses that suppose that if any person gets evil ideas or converts into a criminal or does petty offenses, or poor, doesn't have aspirations, doesn't have inspiration in his or her life to do good in their life, to make progress in their life, if he is having no positivity left, if he or she thinks so that they have left no positivity in their life, okay, and they are not ready to change, they think that whatever the evil they are doing, that is good for them. She says that the kind behavior, the loving behavior, the loving treatment towards this kind of person, basically what happens, students, why she focuses that kind and loving behavior can change anyone. It happens normally. Suppose that a beggar comes to us, most probably, we don't talk with that beggar kindly, we scold that person, we rebuke that person, means society does and ill treatment with that beggar. We always hate a person who is criminal. Basically, it is a statement also that we should not hate the criminal, we should hate the crime actually. But we start hating criminals. Suppose that if a person is an evil person, okay. Suppose that if a person is an evil person, and we are treating that person also with the same point of view that he is evil, he will become more worse and worse. But in spite of that, if we treat that the person is also a human being, and he might have been uh, choosing that a wrong path because of some problems, some sufferings, because of some situation in his or her life. So that kind of behavior can change the mindset of a man, and this story proves that the right track. Okay, so this is the theme of this chapter. So this story brings focus on the idea that the world is a rat trap. This is also a theme. That the story focuses that this whole world is a rat trap. Not only rat trap, we are talking rat trap means a kind of device which is made of iron to use to trap rats. Okay. So idea that reaches, for example, in rat traps, the rats are trapped by the pieces of bread or by some using something to trap them. They come to eat that and they are trapped. They found themselves trapped, the rats. Similarly, the joys, happiness, aspiration, money, wealth, these all are like piece of bread for us. This whole world is, this whole universe is a rat trap, and these are the baits. What are the baits? The baits and physical possession and luxuries and money and whatever it is. People, we all run behind them, we all run after them, and these can, okay. And as we are going to catch that, the trap door will fall and we will be also caught. So this whole universe is a rat trap. This is also a kind of theme of this chapter. Let's discuss the title simply, guys. Title is quite appropriate. The rat trap. As I told, I described just in the theme. Okay, the title of this chapter is rat trap. First, the title is quite appropriate because the protagonist of this chapter, the hero of this chapter, the main character of this chapter, is a peddler. Is a rat trap peddler. Peddler means a person who wanders here and there in some aimless job actually. So a rat trap peddler is here who is a very poor person, poor guy. And he used to sell his rat traps, used to wander here and there to sell his rat traps. So in this way also the title is appropriate, that he walks here, he moves here and there to sell his rat traps. Okay. So because of rat trap seller, the title rat trap is quite appropriate, but it is only not the sufficient reason to say that the title is quite appropriate. Another reason that this whole universe is a rat trap, and as baits are used for rats to trap, the worldly pleasures and luxuries are used as baits for human being, for us to trap in this huge rat trap in the form of world. So this is the title significance. Title is quite appropriate, students. The rat trap. Okay. Now I'm going to discuss the setting of the story. This story. This story is set chiefly in the mines of Sweden, which is very rich in iron ore. Okay, and actually in large figure you can find in Sweden today even the iron industry. Okay, you can find today even. And that country is so much rich in iron and so many things that even so many legendary stories of Sweden you can find on the basis of that iron factories and iron mines. Okay, so iron is the chief business, it's the chief resource of income for the student, okay, and the Swedish person as well. Now the characters, the main characters of this story. There are few characters, students. The rat trap peddler, okay, means the rat trap seller, the main hero. Thereafter, an old man. He's a crofter actually. So crofter, you can say a kind of farmer. You can say crofter is farmer. Okay, basically a farmer who owns his small land property, and if uh, farming land and the house, that is a farmhouse. Okay, if a farmer has his farming ground attached with his residence, his residence also a part of his land, and at the same place he has his farming lands also. So that is actually the theme of this. That is actually it is a crofter. So there is an old man crofter. You can find the master smith, master blacksmith actually. He works in the Swedish iron mill. Okay, who is the owner of the Ramsö iron mill? That is Ramsö iron mill. Okay, or now helpers. You can find the helpers in that iron factory, Ramsö iron factory. You can find helpers. Those helpers are also characters. Iron mill owner. Okay, he is also called you can say iron master. He's called iron master also. And now Edla Williamson, the daughter of iron mill owner, means iron master. So these are the characters. Now let's have the summary of this chapter. This chapter starts, okay, where you could find that there is a poor rat trap seller, and who wanders here and there with the purpose to sell his rat traps, which is made of iron. He was so poor that he can't afford even to purchase iron to make his rat trap. Okay, but even to make the rat traps, he bakes into the iron mines and iron factories. As I told, that Sweden is very rich in iron factories for material, iron material. They gave him, because a lot of wastage after making useful things up by iron metal, a lot of wastage would have been created. Wastage would have been left. So they gave him also, the factory owners gave him also very easily. He made rat traps, okay, with those irons. But that even find very difficult to sell. He he has no home actually. He is a homeless wanderer. He roams here and there from morning till evening for selling his rat traps. Very rarely he succeeded to sell his rat traps, one or two pieces. As I told that he was homeless, he has no home of his own. So he was forced to ask for shelter at evening. So it was his really routine that he starts walking from morning and he walks here and there till evening for selling purpose of his rat traps. And wherever it gets dark, he knocks the doors of few houses. I'm saying, telling few houses. Suppose that he knocks the door of first house, it is evening time, and asks that, please may I stay here for this night? Would you allow me to stay? To the house owner. Normally the house owners rejects. Okay. Normally the house owner rejects, and actually they did not allow him to stay for the night in their homes. Most of the people does so. Means they rebuke him. They did him very bad treatment with this rat trap seller. Rarely found one or two persons who took pity on him and they allowed him to stay. Okay, it was his routine life pattern. He was not earning sufficient amount of money. He was having no one of his own family members. Okay, but even for his own stomach, he arranged food very difficult. It means both ends meet was very difficult for him because earning was not so much. One day while he was walking in the purpose of selling rat traps, all of a sudden an idea came into his mind. He thought that as I'm selling these rat traps and the people use bats in the form of bread pieces and others to trap the rats. Similarly, this whole universe is a rat trap. He thought that this thought gave him pleasure actually. Why? Because he was poor and was deprived from everything, but he thought that all the rich people who they spoiled him, they did not allow him to stay in their homes at the evening time while he asked for shelter. He was very happy to think that all the rich people are also trapped in a big rat trap, which is this whole universe, this whole world. And their beds are the pleasures of life, the luxuries of life. They are running behind them and they are not getting, and they are trapped. He got happy. In this way, the story progresses. One day, while selling process, he went to students. One day, he goes to a crafter, that the character, second character, old man. A crafter's house. It was evening time. He knocked the door, and while other people scolded him, but the crafter did not scold him. He accepted him gleefully. He served him tobacco. He served him food also, porridge. He spent the night. The crafter showed him 30 kroner. Kroner is a kind of currency of Sweden. 30 kroner, 10 kroner note, three currencies of 10 kroners each. So that 30 kroner. The crafter showed him that I have earned by selling milk by these 30 kroners. Crafter was a clean-hearted person. He was not having any kind of doubt and any kind of suspicion towards any person. He showed that 30 kroners. But this rat trap seller, it was not only a single business. Sometimes, if he was not successful to sell rat traps and earn money, he used to do petty offenses like theft and others also. As he saw 30 kroner, in the morning he got up and he bid goodbye to that crafter and the rat trap seller. Both woke up together within the morning. Crafter went on his work and he went on his way. But he returned after some time, this rat trap seller. And because that the crafter also showed that he had kept the money in a pouch, in a small leather packet, and he hung that leather pocket on near the window. While this rat trap seller returned, he broke in the window panel, took that pouch in which the money was kept, and he escaped from, and he ran away from. Thereafter, he went into the forest because he thought that after stealing money, if I will go to the main road, main path, the people may caught me. Because crafter will know after some time that the theft has taken place into his family, into his house, and he will inform the police and other authorities, and he will be arrested. So he thought to select a forest way, but after some time, he lost in the forest. Now he started thinking that, as I was thinking, that this whole universe is a kind of a rat trap, and others are being trapped, and this money and luxuries are trapping for the rich people. This 30 kronos proved a trap for me. He was trying to, that was a big forest in which he lost. He was trying to come out of the forest, but it became evening. From morning till evening, it became night. Couldn't find anything. Finally, he get tired and he lie down on the ground. While he lay down on the ground and his ear was towards the ground, he heard some thumping iron sound. That was a far away distance. Then he thought that there might have been some iron mine, iron factory. He went there into the sound direction. There he found that yes, there was an iron factory. It was a cold weather. It started raining also. So he went near the furnace because making iron equipment, the furnace is necessary. He went into the furnace and to comfort himself, he lay down there also. After some time, the factory owner, the mill owner called Iron Master came, and he took this this rat trap seller. Rat trap seller was sleeping there in the mill, and the owner came. Owner thought that this rat trap seller was his old friend, old regimental comrade in army. Means Iron Master was in army, and he has a friend also, okay, who has left his job, okay, even before retirement. Iron Master thought that he's his friend, the rat trap seller, and taking me as his friend, he requested him that please come to my home. But this rat trap seller was knowing that Iron Master is confused and I'm not his friend. So Iron Master was confused here actually, and he took him as his friend. This rat trap seller, but rat trap seller was well aware that I am not his friend. He is confused, but he didn't tell anything. But he refused also to go there. Then Iron Master went to his home and sent his daughter Atla Bilamson. She came and she requested so kindly and so politely and so loving tone to this rat trap seller that he thought that it is better to go. He went, but while he was going, he was confused also that either he is doing a mistake or not, because if he is going to that Iron Master, that old crafter where from he has stolen the money, who has worked once upon a time in this iron factory where from the owner of which he is taking to him to his home. So he thought that if the old man will inform here, information will come here by any means, I will be arrested. He thought so. But anyway, he went, and while it became a morning, his identity was revealed in front of the Iron Master. Iron Master recognized that he was not his friend. Okay, he thought that Iron Master told angrily to that rat trap seller that why didn't you told me? Why didn't you tell me in the evening? While I took you as my friend. Okay, so why I was confused, you are not confused. Iron Master told, you should have told me that you are not my friend. Why you came? I am going to call the police. Then this rat trap seller excused. It was a Christmas evening, and the Iron Master became very angry, and he said that leave, okay, from my home immediately. But Edla Balamson treated him very kindly and requested her father also that please father allow him to stay till Christmas. It was 24 December and tomorrow it was Christmas, so she said that please father allow him to stay till Christmas, okay, and thereafter he will go. By the loving behavior, okay, and on the 25th December, both father and daughter, means Iron Master and Flamingo'The went to church for prayer. It was Christmas, and he stayed at home. But in church, they got information that the person who is staying at your home is a thief and who has stolen money 30 kroner from the old crafter. Okay, they came runningly from there. Actually, father Iron Master, they came runningly to home, and Iron Master was very angry on his daughter also, that because of you I allowed him to stay, and now let's go home and see that what is left. Means he thought that the thief would have been stolen everything. But while they returned, they saw that the thief would not have stolen anything. Rather than that, he had packed a gift for Edla Williamson. He has left a packed gift for Edla Williamson, the rat trap seller, and he had given the guard and asked that he had departed from there. The rat trap seller departed even before they arrived from the church, and he handed a gift to that guard and said that while they will come, give this gift to the madam Edla Williamson. So while they returned, the gatekeeper handed over that gift to Edla Williamson. While she opened the gift, she was very happy. Why? Because in that gift there was a rat trap seller and those 30 kroner also, and with a writing paper that he has written that you all took me as Captain Von Stanley. Captain Von Stanley was the name of the Iron Master's army friend, and he thought that this rat trap seller is Captain Von Stanley, and that's why he took him at his home. So he said that you thought that I am Captain Von Stanley. In that letter, you thought that I am Captain Von Stanley, and I will not disqualify you. I will qualify you. I will keep your faith that it is not a thief, it is not a rat trap seller, it is Captain Von Stanley, and that's why he has not stolen anything from you. So here the story ends. So it proves that, means he changes himself. It means that loving behavior and kind treatment towards any person can change the person's mind. Thank you, students.